Hey, what's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at the Stokastic MLB DFS Lineup Generator for tonight's slate. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. Of course, if you haven't already signed up for the Lineup Generator, you can still get it for 50% off your first week using the link in the description of this video if you're on YouTube, or just in the tweet if you're on Twitter. It's going to be just $4.48 for that first week. After that, it's still going to be just $8.95, which I think is still a fantastic deal for a tool that is only going to give you long-term profitable lineups. And of course, if you haven't taken advantage of this Caesars offer, and Caesars is available in your state, if you have sports betting and you haven't signed up for Caesars, highly recommend taking advantage of this offer here. You bet $50, you're going to get $250 in bonus bets. Those are going to come in five $50 increments over the course of 5 weeks. Great deal. Of course, you need to be 21 plus to gamble in most states. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, I'm going to pull up the lineup generator. First, we're going to start by looking at some DraftKings lineups. I'm going to do all stack types, all lineup types, not going to lock anybody. All right, first lineup we have here, Justin Verlander and Mitch Keller are the pitchers. We have a 5-3 Blue Jays Red Sox lineup. First, let's take a look at the top pitchers tool for Verlander and Keller. Verlander looks like he is 6th on the board here with an 11% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. Mitch Keller 8th on the board with a 9% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. And then as far as the top stacks go, top 2 stacks on the board, we have the Blue Jays in Colorado. They have a 24% chance of being the top stack. Boston has a 9% chance of being the top stack as well. So we have the 2 best offenses on the board in terms of the top stack odds, and then we have 2 of the top 8 pitchers as well. Looks like a very solid lineup here. It is, of course, fairly chalky, but again, every single one of these lineups has been run through the Stokastic Sims. It's been found to be a long-term profitable lineup. We do have a pretty low-owned Mitch Keller here, so that's kind of nice. All right, going to save that one. This one's slightly less chalky, still fairly chalky, but we have Mitch Keller once again, and we have Zach Wheeler as our other pitcher. Zach Wheeler is 5th on the board with a 12% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. We got the Blue Jays again. Now this time we have the Angels as our secondary stack. Angels about midway down the board here. They have a 3% chance of being the top stack on the board here. Then we do have some low-owned bats in here on the Angels. So overall, a fairly chalky stack, but we do have low-owned pitchers, low-owned bats on the Angels, bringing down the ownership on the very chalky Blue Jays. All right, now I'm just going to go through and save 20 lineups, see what our exposures look like after I save 20. All right, we got to a lot of Blue Jays. This is the first time I have ever seen this. I think we have all 9 Blue Jays bats are our top exposures here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, all 9 Blue Jays bats. Have not seen that before. Those are our top exposure of the day. Every single one of them over 40% exposure. We have 100% Blue Jays bats. I kind of wondered as I was clicking through, it looked like we were staying on the chalky end of the spectrum there. I would probably go back and get rid of some of my Blue Jays exposure. It's kind of nice that it is at least spread out within the Blue Jays. So if the Blue Jays do well, we're probably going to have at least, some of our lineups doing well because we did spread it out across the bats. So no matter who does well for the Blue Jays, we're going to have a pretty nice lineup if they go off here. You could just run this 20 lineup set. As I said, every single lineup is going to be long-term profitable. I might want to mitigate my risk a little bit. So I might get rid of a few of these, maybe some of them have both Jansen and Kiermaier in them, and then go back, find some more contrarian lineups, see if I can find some that don't have full Blue Jays stacks in them. But yeah, you could just run this 20 lineup set. At least we have no more than 65% of any individual bat. All right, now I'm going to look at some FanDuel lineups as well. All stacks, all lineups, not locking. All right, Max Fried is a pitcher in this one, just 4% ownership going to Fried. Let's take a look at the top pitchers tool for FanDuel. Fried kind of middle of the pack here. We have him with a 4% chance of being the top pitcher at 4% ownership. Tough matchup with the Dodgers, but solid pitcher. And then the bats, we have a 4-3 full-on Coors stack here. We got a 4-3 Blue Jays Rockies stack with then Ke'Bryan Hayes as a one-off at just 1% ownership there. So Ke'Bryan Hayes bringing down the ownership a bit. Actually, the Rockies looking like they are fairly low owned despite being in Coors. Looks like a nice lineup. Let's take a look at the top stacks tool for FanDuel. Toronto, top of the board, 23% chance of being the top stack. Colorado, 6% chance of being the top stack. So 2 of the top 4 stacks there. Looks like a nice lineup and not overly chalky, kind of middle of the pack in terms of the chalkiness. Let's take a look at one more here. All right, this one a little bit chalkier. Verlander is the pitcher. Verlander is 6th on the board in terms of top pitcher odds. 5% chance of being the top pitcher. Then we have a 4-2-2 Blue Jays, Rockies, Orioles stack here. The Orioles in the top stack school are 3rd overall, 7% chance of being the top stack. And this one, yeah, it's a little bit chalkier, but we do still have some low owned bats. Ryan O'Hearn at 4%, Montero at 1%, very low owned there, and then 6% owned Verlander. All right, I'm going to go through and save 20 lineups. Looks like we're getting more diversity in our lineups here than we did on DraftKings. Still got to a bunch of Blue Jays at the top of the board. Davis Schneider looks like he's the only one who isn't among our top exposed bats here, but still at 20% for Schneider. But we have 75% George Springer, and then it drops down significantly to 50% of Varsho and Vlad. I might want to cut back a little bit on my Springer exposure here, but in general, I think I would be okay with eating a lot of Blue Jays chalk. Once again, they look really good here in Coors. So you could run, I would say you could run this 20 lineups. That would be totally fine. Or you could go back, maybe get rid of a few of your lineups, find some contrarian lineups that don't have so much Blue Jays in them if you wanted to mitigate your risk a little bit, not risk quite as much on just one team. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Again, if you haven't already done so, please do like the video or the tweet. Thanks for watching. Good luck tonight.